66 million years ago, the world ended in seconds. Yet, in the ruins, life did not vanish. It was violently reshaped. Hidden beneath ancient riverbeds and in sudden surges of ferns, the true survivors of the asteroid's aftermath tell a far stranger story than extinction alone. The answer to what truly outlived the dinosaurs changes our understanding of disaster, of adaptation, and of the world we thought we inherited. But the first clues are anything but comforting. At Tanis, North Dakota, a riverbank holds the evidence of a world undone in moments. Here, Robert De Palma and his team uncovered a dense tangle of fossilized fish, their bodies twisted among shattered logs and fragments of distant forests. Some fish, paddlefish and sturgeon, still bear glassy microtectites lodged in their gills. Tiny spherules of impact melt inhaled as they rained from the sky. Mixed with these aquatic remains are splinters of bone, amber and terrestrial debris, all locked in a single chaotic layer. The sediment tells of a surge, likely a seiche, a standing wave triggered by seismic shock, that swept through the river minutes after the Chicxulub impact and buried life in an instant. The violence of this deposit is unmistakable. Fresh water and land, predator and prey, all pressed together by forces beyond anything in living memory. It is a forensic snapshot of disaster, a record not of extinction, but of the raw physical violence that began to erase the old world. This single layer is the first brutal page of a global story. It leaves a quiet, terrible question: how did anything survive at all? Across the planet, a new signature appears in the rock, one that speaks of a world stripped bare. In sediments laid down just after the impact, a sudden surge of fern spores replaces the pollen of vanished forests. This phenomenon, the fern spike, is recorded from North America to New Zealand, a silent witness to the collapse of ancient canopies. What was left behind is not just absence, but a different kind of landscape. What allowed these plants to take over so completely? Beneath those layers, thick bands of charcoal record the immediate aftermath. Wildfires swept through devastated landscapes, fueled by a rain of molten debris and searing winds. The forests that once shaded dinosaurs and early mammals were gone, their trunks reduced to ash and soot. With sunlight choked by dust and smoke, most plants withered, leaving only the hardiest survivors. Ferns, able to colonize barren ground, were among the first to thrive where nothing else could. How did those small, ancient fronds endure when towering trees could not? For animals tied to the shelter and food of trees, this was not merely a loss of habitat, but the erasure of entire ways of life. The world became a landscape of open ground and low green shadows, a brief, uncanny age ruled by ferns. The scene is unsettling because it reveals how quickly the familiar can vanish, and how survival can hinge on a narrow set of traits and survival trade-offs. The question remains, how long did this fern world persist and what replaced it? In India, a different force was at work long before the asteroid's shadow crossed the sky. The Deccan Traps, a vast province of volcanic rock, erupted in pulses, sending rivers of basalt across the subcontinent. High-precision dating places the most intense phase of these eruptions within 300,000 years of the extinction event, close enough to overlap with the final days of the Cretaceous. Each outpouring released not only molten rock but also immense volumes of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide, gases capable of warming the planet and acidifying the oceans. The world was already under strain. Atmospheric chemistry shifting, temperatures fluctuating, and food webs destabilizing. Some researchers, citing Rennie's 2015 chronology, argue that these eruptions weakened ecosystems, leaving life exposed to the final blow. Others point to the synchrony of the impact layer and mass extinction as evidence of a singular, overwhelming cause. What is certain is that as the impactor fell, Earth's biosphere was already burdened by a deep volcanic undercurrent, its full role still debated, its effects lingering in the uncertainty of the rocks. A fossilized bird. Vegavis ei rests in Antarctic rock that is nearly 66 million years old. Its bones were once encased in polar ice and silt. They belonged to a creature that swam ancient waterways as the world collapsed. Thousands of kilometers away, Asteriornis maastrichtensis left a delicate skull in the coastal sands of what is now Belgium. Both birds lived at the threshold, small, ground-walking or water-adapted, neither bound to the vanished forests above. These are not distant relatives of modern birds. They are direct ancestors, proof that at least some lines of Norniths, true birds, crossed the extinction boundary. While giant theropods vanished, these feathered survivors endured. Every crow, duck, and pigeon today carries the legacy of a lineage that weathered fire, darkness, and famine. Birds are not only living dinosaurs. They are the last branch that bent but did not break. Beneath the ash and soot of Hell Creek, the fossil record reveals a different kind of survivor. Tiny fragments of bone, buried in the first meters above the impact layer, speak of life that persisted when forests collapsed and skies went black. Within that thin, shocked horizon, tiny jaws and teeth, some no bigger than a grain of rice, signal the persistence of mammals like Protungulatum, among the earliest known placentals. Their presence is small, but their persistence is immense. At Corral Bluffs in Colorado, paleosols riddled with ancient burrows and micro-CT scanned concretions expose a hidden world, where shrew-sized eutherians endured what giants could not. These were not fleeting refuges, they were shelters of survival. Their size was not a weakness but a shield. Small bodies required little food. Burrows offered protection from fire, and from the cold, freezing darkness that followed the impact. Generalist diets let them scavenge seeds, insects, and carrion when forests failed. Flexible behavior and a subterranean life permitted slow, stubborn endurance. These mammals did not merely survive, they waited. In the long silence after the impact, their lineages would become the architects of a new world. In the silence that followed the impact, water became a shield. Along ancient rivers and swamps, crocodilia and testudines endured where giants fell. Their bodies adapted to slow metabolisms and long fasting. Amphibians, frogs, and salamanders hid in mud and shallow pools, buffered from the worst of the burning skies. In the oceans, a sharper boundary was drawn. Planktonic foraminifera, once abundant, vanished almost at once, their extinction recorded in deep-sea cores from the ocean drilling program. Ammonites, with their countless planktonic larvae, failed to recover. Yet nautiloids, laying large eggs on the seafloor, survived and later diversified. Depth and aquatic refuge, paired with life cycles decoupled from the sunlit surface, filtered the survivors from the lost. In these darkened waters, the rules of endurance were rewritten. Extinction is never truly final. Life edits, adapts, endures. Today, every bird, turtle, and crocodile carries the scars and secrets of survival. The next upheaval could rewrite everything again.